I miss this wall. Seems every time I leave this place, they change everything again. Hey everyone, my name's Amanda, this is Building Characters, and this month we are talking about travel. So I have a list of my favorite movies, like a literal list. I write them down. These are the kind of movies that I have or could rewatch over and over and never get tired of them. Maybe one day I'll actually go over the whole list with y'all, but today we're talking about road trip movies. Some road trip movies that I know of is National Lampoon Vacation, Mad Max, Rain Man, and of course, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? All of these films fall into the category of road trip movies, but none of them have actually made it on my favorite film list. Although now that I think about it, I might add Rain Man to that list because that movie is just really good. I have not seen that in a while. No, but the road trip movie we are talking about today is Little Miss Sunshine. This movie is the entire reason I even made my favorite films list. Not only is it a perfect road trip movie, but it's probably the closest thing I would ever call a perfect film. Here's the great thing about road trip movies. They're character-driven stories, which are my all-time favorite stories. Watching people drive around in a car isn't really entertaining, so the characters have to be interesting. Let's go over a checklist that I made of what you need to make a good, typical road trip movie. Number 1, character conflict. Characters on a road trip can't always get along. There has to be opposite personalities and character conflict while on the trip. Little Miss Sunshine excels at this. Every character is a conflict to every other character in that movie. The grandfather is a conflict to everyone. He's obnoxious sometimes and has no filter. Frank, the uncle, he is a conflict because he's suicidal and he has to be watched all the time. He can't be left alone. Dwayne is a conflict because he refuses to speak anymore and he generally just hates everyone. The father's a conflict. He worries about his business all the time and he has this general idea that losers are not accepted. The mother's a conflict. She can't drive stick. She fights with her husband about financial stability, and she is determined to get Olive to this pageant. And of course, there's Olive. She's the one who has to get to the pageant. She's the main driving force of the story. Without her, none of it would happen. She is the main driving conflict. Number 2, things have to get worse. This is in every single road trip movie that I've seen. And it's kind of why most of them are comedies, because we just love to laugh at people suffering. But seriously, nothing can go right in a road trip movie. Otherwise, there'd really be no plot and they would just get to their destination smoothly. This kind of falls into the idea of there must be conflict within the movie, but this kind of conflict is outside of the character's control. And of course, Little Miss Sunshine excels at this. They have a multitude of problems on the way. It's what causes their most iconic moment, and it's on their poster where they have to run to the car because whoever's driving can't slow down. There's a problem with the father's business. Financial stability is something that is brought up multiple times. There's an actual death. And of course, there's the constant worry that they're not going to make it to the pageant on time. And here's the great thing about road trip movies, especially more dramatic ones like Little Miss Sunshine. You don't have to have a purely happy ending, which kind of leads us to number 3. Relationships change. Characters have to develop. This is true for all good movies, but it's a little bit easier to see in road trip movies. But it still has to be natural. I cannot stress that enough. Your character cannot be one way throughout the entire road trip and then just change at the end. Road trip movies are not about the destination or the goal, but it's how the characters got there and how it changed them. I won't completely spoil the ending, but Little Miss Sunshine has a great ending. It's funny, it's heartwarming, and nothing's really tied up neatly, which is very much true to how life is. So that's a small list that I made of what you need to make a good, typical road trip movie. But honestly, the reason that Little Miss Sunshine rises above all the others to me is because it makes me care about every single character. Every character has their own plot, their own troubles, and it just makes the whole thing feel more real. I cannot stress to you how hard this is to do, especially when you have 6 main characters in your story. But the characters feel like real people, and their troubles seem relatable, and you want to empathize with them more, and their character growth feels very natural, and it's amazing. You need to watch it. But anyway, that's my favorite road trip movie. Let me know in the comments what your favorite road trip movie is. Also, let me know if you guys want me to do a vlog about my whole favorite films list, because I guarantee there are some on there that you might not really expect. To be perfectly honest, most of the films on my favorite film list are films that I did not really intend to watch. I only watched them because of specific circumstances that happened. But anyway, you want to see more vlogs, sketches, short films, anything like that, just hit that subscribe button, like this video for me. As always, my name is Amanda. I'll see you next time.